Is Russia's T-14 Armata much better than the US M1 Abrams? In the internet world, there are many people who have written or made videos about comparison between the T-14 Armata and the M1 Abrams. Some people favor Armatas. Some people favor Abrams. The main difference between the T-14 Armata and the M1 Abrams is its generation. The T-14 Armata is a fourth-generation tank, which is a fully designed and built from scratch tank, while the current M1 Abrams, including its most modern version, the M1A2 SEPV3, includes a 3.5-generation tank because it is a rejuvenation of the M1 Abrams, which is basically a third-generation tank. Are the latest generation tanks always superior to previous generations? The answer is, not necessarily. But let's take a look at the Armata's features and compare them to Abrams. Russian tanks generally have only 3 crews that are commander, gunner, and driver. They used autoloaders and Armata continued that tradition. But this time, the 3 crews were placed in a compartment which separated from the ammunition and have their own protective coating. Automatically, this action is expected to increase crew survivability. Armata ammunition, which located in the middle, is also protected by additional protection, so it minimizes the possibility of turret blowup. Although the turret were destroyed, the 3 crews would likely to survive, retreat, then their tanks would be repaired to fight another day, unlike earlier Russian tanks that blow up turrets. This robotic turret is a revolution in the field of tanks. It is possible that tanks in the future will have more or less similar designs to improve crew survivability. In terms of weight, the Armata weighs 55 tons, which is lighter than the Abrams, 60 to 70 tons. In addition, the Armata can move up to 500 kilometers in full refueling, while the Abrams can only move about 426 kilometers. The Abrams and Armata combat experience differs 180 degrees. The Abrams is a tank that has been deployed to many battlefields until now. The tank has operated, for example, in the Gulf War, Iraq War, and Afghan War, and its export version is already owned by several countries other than the United States, Saudi Arabia, Australia, Iraq, Kuwait, Morocco, and Egypt. Meanwhile, without intending to underestimate, the Armata experience has only been limited to training in its own front yard and participating in Victory Day parades since 2015. By the way, there are rumors that 5 T-14 Armata units were sent to Syria to be tested. Rumor has it, one of the T-14 Armatas was destroyed and the other 2 were damaged by a terrorist attack. But since there is no documentation, I don't even know whether this is true or not. In other words, comparing Abrams to Armata isn't so apple to apple. The T-14 Armata could either be a successful new weapon that inspired the design of other tanks in the future, or it would simply become an experimental vehicle that only appear once or twice on the battlefield, then replaced by a new design. So, is Russia's T-14 Armata much better than the US M1 Abrams? At the moment, we can't conclude yet, but on the paper, the T-14 Armata looks promising. Let's just wait for the future. Regardless of who is better, we both do not want the M1A2 SEPV3 and T-14 Armata to compete again on the battlefield in a massive way, whether side by side or face to face. War is something scary,